coming at you with a little leg day action here. I got a pretty simple leg day set up for you. It's only got 2 working sets per exercise, only 6 exercises total. So something you can kind of get in, get out. Really just make sure when we only have 2 working sets like this that you're getting the um, full effort and everything you can out of the lift itself. But just for an example of how I like to warm up, I got some warm up sets videotaped here. So for the hack squat, what I always do is I get my feet down low on the platform, pretty close, not super close together, but heels are about shoulder width apart, maybe a little narrower than shoulder width apart, with toes facing kind of towards the top corners of the platform there. So with these warm ups, we're really focusing on warming up the joints, getting our ankles moved up, getting all the mobility going. I don't know if you can hear it in this because I added the music at the beginning, but pretty sure every single one of these reps on my warm up set here with no weight, my knee pops every time. And so I have a old injury from high school and like working around it, I got a bad habit of doing kind of a twist as I come up to the top. Because of that, it makes a shift in my knee, so I really have to be very conscious of what I'm doing to try and avoid that and make sure I'm not damaging my knee, make sure my knee's staying in the correct alignment and all that good stuff. So first warm up set, no weight, set at 10. This one, we added a little bit of weight. Usually I do a set of 10 to warm up. Sometimes I'll do a second set of 10 just to get the legs really warmed up best as possible. After that, once I'm adding weight, I'll do a set of 8 to 6, and then I'll do a set of 4. And then a lot of times I like to do a warm up set of just 1 with the working weight that I'm going to do, just to get used to the weight. And it just kind of helps me lift the weight, and it makes it my working set feel a lot easier. Now, I didn't film all my warm up sets with this, but you guys get the idea. Just make sure the muscles and the joints are warmed up best as possible. Really practice your form and getting that full stretch at the bottom, all nice good depth. And then what we're looking to do is once we figure out the movement, we're hitting the muscle that we want to, which on this is going to be the outer quads, like the quad sweep. We want to make sure we stay in that movement and try and make all our reps look the same, from our warm-up reps to our working set reps to the ones at failure. Now, in order to solicit growth, a lot of times you got to push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and reps can get a little sloppy sometimes. Now, that's fine. Just trying to reduce that as much as possible is going to, what I've found, be the most efficient and get the best results for you. Um, Again, by the way, the reason I'm making this content and stuff like this is because I worked out for a long time, and I found out the past few years that a lot of the things I was doing and a lot of the stuff on the internet is wrong. And so once I found out these new tips and tricks, I was able to have much more efficient workouts. And if I can get somebody to their goal faster and more efficiently, I would love to do that. So getting some information out there, because I do see a lot of bad information shared as is as well. So just want to be helpful here. But working sets on this hack squat are going to be 12 and then 8. Again, we're doing 2 working sets. As far as for a rest period, really leave it up to you. If you're looking to just strictly build muscle, go to your fully recovered hack squat. Probably 4 minutes is a good rest time. Sometimes we only do 2 sets. 5 minutes could be useful. It all depends on how much I'm pushing in between those sets and how much I'm recovering. This one here, or this workout, was holding back a little bit. This was after going snowboarding, had some weird knee issues, so I wanted to make sure that I'm just doing the most that I can with the least amount of weight, if that makes sense. Which brings me to my next point here. Well, obviously you see I'm going all the way down, getting a nice good stretch deep in the bottom. Some people might not be able to do that because of that flexion. The point is to work your way down to that. A lot of times where our bodies aren't used to the full range of motion, we can't do them right away, which is fine. Just make sure you're safely stretching and getting closer to that full range of motion there. You'll notice from the bottom though, I'm not jerking or anything like that. All the weight is on my quads, and I am working on straightening my legs. Excuse me, sorry, I'm getting over a cold. So apologize if I'm now with those 2 sets. Like I said, I was keeping it lighter because I was having knee injuries. You don't have to go to absolute all-out failure every week. Make sure your body is recovering. One workout isn't going to make you, but one workout can break you. And so if you hurt your knee or a big joint like that, tear a muscle, you're going to be out a lot longer than if you were just took a little bit more time, focus more on the squeeze and the stretch of the muscle versus just all out weight to do more and make less weight more efficient. This is just going to be more healthy overall and help you stay healthy longer. Now we're going to go into the leg extensions here. Like you can see, the first one was, or I skipped the warm-out sets on this, or warm-up sets of this, but I do the same thing, do a set of 10, set of like 4, and then set of 1 with my working weight. But for these sets here, my 2 working sets on the leg extension are going to be 15 for the first one, and then 10 for the second one. Again, getting a nice full stretch as deep as possible, but making sure that we're not setting the weight down and resting it in between each rep. If you can go all the way back to where you're almost taking the weight off, or you can take the weight off with these, just get a deep stretch. You can touch the weights together, but make sure you're keeping your quads tight. So you'll make sure you get the most out of every movement. We're not resting in between. We're getting as deep a stretch as possible. So with these, again, I was going a little bit lighter, but I still make them count. Squeezing every little bit out that I can. See, I'm still making it hard even though it's a lighter than usual. One thing that made me really realize that weight isn't the end-all be-all is when I started working in deload reps, deload sets. Goodness, deload weeks, where you go in, you only do about 65% of the weight that you normally do. I was going in and doing these lifts with 65% less weight, and I was really controlling the weight a lot more and moving it a lot slower. And I was coming out of those workouts even sorer than my usual ones, and so I knew right then that something was squeezing out these last few reps on this second working set of 10. So even though it was easier or lighter in weight, I still try to make it as hard as possible. Sorry, Leanna, you're kind of all over these clips in the background, and since you asked Zane to come over and spot you, I'm assuming you're about to show your strong face, so I hope it's a good one. Well, I hope you like it. But anyway, squeezing it out. As you can see, still a struggle for those last few reps. I'm staying in the pain, squeezing it as much as possible. I'm not throwing the weight around, making it easier on myself. So then we're going to go into the first working set of, I don't know, I call this an RDL machine, I guess. This thing's amazing. If you're fortunate enough to have one of these at your gym, I suggest you use it all the time, anytime you work hamstrings. Now, I do a warm-up set with this just to kind of help get loose and get my range of motion better. I'm not that flexible of a guy, but you can see I only have a 25 on the weight there. So just keeping all that weight on the hamstrings throughout this entire workout is what I focus on. With this, we're doing 2 working sets, 1 of 12, 1 of 8. Yes, I have a 25 for my set of 12. You can see there's a vein about to pop out of my head because it's hard. I don't know what it is. I don't have that small of hamstrings. My hamstrings are pretty decent, I like to think. But nevertheless, all I need is a 25. After this, I only go up to a 45 for my set of 8. And you'll see I'm struggling with it. But again, this machine is really good. There's a lot of different ways to customize it to make sure that it is set up properly for you. The platform moves up and down so you can get your hips to as close as the hinge point on the other side as possible. That way, you want the reason you want it as close to that because it's going to mimic your body's movement the best it can, right? Then you can move this pad that you see in front of me that's on my thighs there, up or down, to in relation to where you need it the best and where you can still get over as far as possible. I almost didn't make that right. Well, yeah, you can see I'm putting my hands down now to spot myself. But then the pad on the back as well moves up and down, so it's in the best place for you. Then also there is a little pinpoint to my right that allows me to change the strength curve, whether I want it to focus more on my hamstrings or on my glutes. I can switch that up. It's a great all-around machine. This one's made by Arsenal. The owner of the gym here was saying that there's a couple other that make really good ones as well. There's the real weight daddy in the background there. Go check him out on YouTube or on Instagram, IFBB Zane. He he also runs Team Lift Lab, so sign up for teamliftlab.com. $9 a month gives you all the workouts and diet plans that you need and everything that you need to be successful. Just make sure you read the stuff, read it twice, read it and take notes, and then apply it properly. Knowledge is nothing if you don't actually use it. But here is my set of 8. As you can see, I'm going very slow. Really focusing on that contraction, everything on the hamstrings. I don't want it on my lower back or on my glutes. We're hitting one specific muscle and we're growing that with this muscle here. Looks like Zane's crushing Leanna in the background. I promise he's helping her stretch, even though it looks terrible. All right, we're going to squeeze out these last few reps of the second work, a set of 8. Again, only doing 2 working sets on these exercises, so it's really important that you make it count and get as much out of the muscle as possible. Make the workout count. Really dig deep in that pain and make sure you're not using other muscles to make that easier. Now, going into the seated hamstring curl here, this one's really great because you can get a full range of motion. If you can't get a full range of motion, there's a way that you can actually use one leg and sit forward so you get a better stretch. I'll have to demonstrate that in a later video. But with these hamstring curls, we're going to do one set of 15 and one set of 10. I didn't film the warm-up sets here just for the simple fact that you guys get the idea. We're using it to get used to the workout, practice the range of motion, and really work on that mind-muscle connection. And then we're going to try and make all our working sets look exactly like those warm-up sets. Again, warm-up sets I do one very lightweight with a set of 10, then I go for a set of 4, then I'll do sets of 2 until I get to my working weight or close to within 20 pounds of my working weight or so. And just making sure, again, we're practicing that range of motion and those reps. Now, for some reason, these seated hamstring curls after that RDL machine have just been killing me, lighting me up. Just the combo of them together. I don't know if it's the stretch with the contraction afterwards or what, but it's been giving me a great pump. Makes me feel like my hamstrings are going to rip off the bone. So I actually haven't been going up too crazy in weight on these. This cool little prime machine, if you see this little green circle with the 2 handles, not the handle closest to me, but the one farther, allows you to change the strength curve so you get that most of that weight on the stretch, and it gets easier as we contract. This allows us to put the most of the stress on the most important part of the lift. Goodness. All right, coming into the last working set here, we're doing 1 to 10. I cut out standing calf raises as well as for the adductor machine. One, because you guys don't need to see me spread my legs. Kind of weird for thinking or missing out on that. But anyway, with that and the standing leg curl, we're just going to do we'll do a warm-up set, do a couple warm-up sets, just to make sure you're able to get your groin nice and stretched out. We're also going to make sure we're getting our ankle flexion in there and getting our calves all worked out best as possible. Then we're going to do a set of 15 and then a set of 10 for our 2 working sets. Again, we're only doing 2, make them count, and get a full stretch. Now you can see I'm struggling. These leg curls here, that's what you want. Again, you don't have to go to all out absolute failure, but you should be very, very close. Within 1 to 2 reps of it is the goal pretty much each time before you go up. As you can see here, I'm just having a great time. Get it in. I haven't been counting. I don't know how many I got left. I got sidetracked with you weirdos thinking about me spreading my legs. See, I didn't get that full contraction there. I just got what I could. That is fine as long as we're not humping and thrusting and moving around and getting a bunch of ridiculous momentum. Uh, See, after that said, I started thinking about my life and why I do this. And then I go flex, and it reminds me all why I do this every day.